Hey, welcome to another episode of the Not Scrum Done podcast. I'm your co-host, Andreanna Marshall, and that's my amazing co-host.
Grand Scrum Master Scott. Greetings, everyone.
So today we're going to be talking about the journey to become a PST, and we're going to give you the roadmap, the steps, and some advice throughout the process. The first thing that I want to point out here is this is on the scrum.org website, so you can search the overview of the PST selection process, and you will find it on scrum.org. They give you all the information here. Scott and I will go over it with you. Essentially, there are three phases. Phase one is the core qualifications that you align with scrum.org's values and mission. Phase two is having the knowledge and practical experience. We're going to dive deeper into that. And then three is making sure that you have the training skills. So that's high level. And then we'll click in to learn more and we'll go deeper into these. Core qualifications, the basics are you need at least 4 years of experience. You can't just come out 1 year and think that you can go and be a trainer. They're looking for people that have extensive experience.
Now, when we talk about those 4 years, keep in mind those 4 years are going to be validated by Scrum.org. I know in some certifications, I'm thinking like when I got my PMP, I just had to make sure I had done projects over whatever the time was. It's been so long ago, I don't remember all the detail, but I had to write that down and put that in the application. But at Scrum.org, that will be verifiable years of experience. Just keep that in mind. If you don't have 4 years, save yourself some time and put it in the application.
Exactly. But you're also going to need some kind of experience in formal classrooms, whether it's a workshop, at least half a day or longer. Now, I use my job to get this experience. And then with other teams, I work at a big organization. So I was able to train teams that I would never meet otherwise. So it was still like an outside entity that I was working with. So that's how I was able to get some experience. So if you're like, oh, how do I get this in class experience? See if you could start with your organization, see if you can go to some meetups and present there or give some free training so that you can get that experience and get that feedback. Scott, do you have anything else to add to this?
That's a very good point, Andriana. I did the same thing. I got a lot of experiences just to qualify for the application, just doing training at work. And a lot of positions I've had, I always did trainings, documented trainings, in case of Scrum.org wants to validate that. I did this training such a date for such and such a company. Make sure that it is verifiable in the event they need to verify.
Exactly. And the last two things that you need in the core qualification section are you need to have passed the PSM1 assessment with a score of 95 and also the PSM2 assessment with a score of 85 or higher. I feel like the last two are probably the easiest to achieve out of these four things.
Yes.
So once you have those core qualifications, then you can fill out your application. There is no application fee. You'll have to do like I wouldn't say it's exactly like the PMP, but I will say you do have to provide all that knowledge. You do need to give data points on how you've used Scrum, how you promote professional Scrum, how you've helped your team deliver or achieve certain outcomes. So make sure that you're putting those specifics in there and not just general things as I have X amount of years of experience, but giving good details and background to show that you qualify. Scott, do you have anything else to add to this?
The other thing I would add to this, Andriana, I remember I was consulting PST many years ago. They was rushing to get the application in and they put down some stuff. Now, when they got to the point where they did the interview with Scrum.org, the interview didn't match their application and it raised a red flag. She was at a point where she now had to justify what's here, what's not there. She had the experience, she just didn't take the time. She was rushing to fill out the application. So just make sure whatever you put on the application, that when you ask about it, that it matches. I think that's pretty obvious, but I definitely want to call that out. Don't want to see nobody go through this process and get knocked down before you even get started.
Exactly. That's a great point. So going on to phase two, knowledge and practical experience. In this phase, the first section of this is going to be making sure that you get certain assessments. Depending on your path, you're either going to get the PSM3 or the PSPO3. You are definitely going to get the PSPO1, the PALE, that's the Professional Agile Leadership, level one. You are going to get that certification. You do also have to get a fourth certification. It could be any one of these, but you are going to walk away with four certifications after this. I will say the first one is the hardest that's listed here. The first one on this list is definitely harder. I believe that you can do these in any particular order, but definitely, if I were going after this today, I would start with the hardest personally because I would just want to get it over with. And the PSM-3 and the PSPO-3, they are hand graded. They're written answers. So you'll have time before you even get feedback. So you can go on to the other ones as you wait for that. Scott, do you have anything to add to this?
Just like you said, these are written essays. Just want to confirm that. Now, one thing I want to highlight for you is that pay close attention to the PSM-1 exam, the multiple choice questions and answers there, because the difference in the PSM-1 and the PSM-3, as Andreanna said, is you're going to be writing the answers out. So if you can remember your answers from the PSM-1, that gives you a clue of what to expect, at least from the type of question that you're going to get. You got to go a lot deeper than that, but just to give you an idea of what it may look like, feel like.
Exactly. And going after the PSM-3, that's just my personal preference. You can go in
Yeah.
any of these orders. Some people, they'll tackle all the other ones to help build up their confidence. So if you need that to build up your confidence and get those wins, definitely take some time and do that as well. All right. The second part of this is showcase practical experience with professional Scrum. There are two parts to this. You are going to basically, for this part, they want to know that you have extensive experience and that you can handle any question in the classroom setting. The two parts of this are going to be the value testimony. This is a lightweight case study that showcases how you have worked with individuals, teams, and organizations to create value by applying professional Scrum. And then the second part is experience review, a panel discussion with Scrum.org staff and PSTs where you describe your range of experience creating value with professional Scrum across a variety of settings, environments, or contexts. So that is phase two, knowledge and practical experience. Again, you're getting your four certifications in any order that you choose. You're showcasing your practical experience through value testimony and experience review. Phase three is going to be the training skills. Now, one of the things that you're going to do in this section is training skills peer review. So you're going to simulate learning environment with Scrum.org staff and PSTs where you deliver a short segment of prepared teaching and respond to student questions. Now, this one was very interesting. I thought this was hard. I enjoyed it. I learned so much because that feedback really helped me become there are things in that feedback that I still use today that help me be the best trainer that I can be. What do you think about that? The peer review stuff?
I think it is challenging. The whole process is challenging. Your nerves going to be racking that day once you get to that level. You amongst the best of the best, and they evaluating you, you teaching and you training. Again, you're going to be welcome to a community that we're very serious about Scrum, and you're going to have to prove yourself. One thing I would recommend to you is begin practicing now. If you're not facilitating sprint retrospectives, I will be volunteering to facilitate everything and get as much practice and experience and teaching and facilitating and coaching and whatever it is I can get. I would take every opportunity to do that. Facilitating the retrospective is not going to be enough, but I'm just talking about from the practice aspect of
Yeah, I can tell you these are going to be the toughest students that you've ever had. And I say that in a polite way because they ask really good questions, but again, they give really excellent feedback to help you become a better trainer. And the other part, the second part and the other part of the training skills section is the candidate trainer experience. Now, this is going to be where you get invited to take the Applying Professional Scrum course. And then you will also go through a 2-day candidate trainer workshop. Now, of course, we've both been through something very similar. We actually did it, but it was a different course at the time. It was the PSM-1, and then we did the trainer workshop as well. In this section, you're invited to participate in the APS course, which is Applying Professional Scrum course, and a 2-day candidate trainer workshop. Now, this workshop is where you are going to show off your skills as a trainer and get feedback from PSTs over the course of several days. So, one, when you go into the APS course, be a student, ask questions, be actively involved, participate in the activities, be engaged no matter where you're at in the process. Like, be engaged because I believe you're also evaluated as a student. How much of a learner are you? How, are you a sponge? Are you willing to grow and learn something new? And trust me, you are going to learn something new, even in a class that's a basic level like this. Even though this class is foundational level, Then you'll go through a 2-day candidate trainer workshop where you're going to be training. You're going to be showing your skills. This is where you're also going to get really awesome feedback to help you become a better professional scrum trainer. And this is an opportunity to showcase your skills. You're going to train, they're going to give you feedback. Also, people in the class are going to give you feedback and vice versa. So, someone else will go, they'll teach a segment, you'll give feedback to them. You'll teach a segment, they'll give feedback to you. And of course, this does include professional scrum trainers helping and guiding you through this process and facilitating the course. All right, Scott, do you have anything else to add about maybe your time when you did this?
I would say that was part of the reason why I joined Toastmasters because I was the type of person that, with my group, people who I knew, I'm dominant. I'm not nervous or anything, but getting in front of strange people and teaching on something, that was a bit uncomfortable for me. So if that is you, then I will recommend you go ahead and practice on that now because you're going to be speaking in front of strangers about a topic that you're supposed to know. If that makes you feel uncomfortable, address that, start working on it now like I did.
Yeah, great advice. And so once you've passed all of that, now that's a whole lot, and I won't say it's perfectly linear. You may go back some steps, you may go forward some steps. It will still take some time. This journey is about 1 to 2 years. So just go into it thinking you're going into it for the long haul. It's not going to be an easy journey. It's going to be a long journey. This is about a year to 2 years. I think the average is about a year and a half. That's what it took me. If you're not necessarily stressed out of doing something every single day, but you should be preparing and getting better and reading and researching and watching Not Scrum Dumb videos and other videos on the scrum.org blog. And you should be subscribed to this channel. But there's also a ton of amazing content on the scrum.org blog that you can reference and help you continuously improve through the process. And that's a big part of this journey as well, improvement. It's not listed on here, but showcasing that you can improve and get better is a big part of what you're evaluated on too. We're lifelong learners. It doesn't stop when you become a PST. And that's all we have in terms of the high level view of the PST candidate journey. And also, you get a little bit of a commentary from us and some things that you should look out for in order to help you on your journey. If you want to learn more about this topic or you have some questions, leave a comment below. We'll create a video. We'll write you back and also create a video on it so that others can learn from your question. So make sure that you like this video, subscribe to this video, join our email subscriber list. We're sending exclusive content to our email list. So make sure you join that. And as always, if you made it to the end of this video, that means you have an attention span greater than a goldfish.
Be legendary, everyone, but not scrum down. We'll see you in the next episode.